Welcome to creating momentum through the filter of the law of attraction. My name is Wildeboer and I love creating opportunities for others to find different ways to enhance their life. And I love to do that in varying ways. And this Creating Momentum series is just one of those ways that I like to do that. So the principle of the law of attraction. This idea is well known. It is one of the universal laws, similar to the law of gravity. We know that if we are holding a ball and we drop it, it's going to drop to the ground because the law of gravity is in play. And the law of attraction is a similar law. It is always in play. The law of attraction being the concept that when we ask for something to appear in our life, that it appears. Well, I've had varying degrees of success when it comes to this, and particularly early on in my business, I had a big varying degree of success of asking for something to happen and then it just not showing up. And it made me investigate why that might be the case and why others experienced this varying degrees of success like I was. And so what I looked at was, why is it that one person has success and another person doesn't? And it all comes down to our principle within our personal law of attraction. So yes, there is the universal law of attraction, but then there is the principles that we create within our own system that allow the law of attraction to work effectively or not effectively for us. And that's the area that I'm really going to drill down on tonight. So the principle in relation to my personal law of attraction, this is easily described in my calendar. So I'm a planner. I plan everything. Every single day in my calendar, I have at least 30 tasks that I want to achieve in any given day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, maybe not Sunday. Sunday maybe has about 10 tasks. So that's a bit of a day off. But every other day of the week, I have a long list of tasks that I want to achieve because I love to plan and I love to do lists and I love the satisfaction I gain by ticking off my little to-do list. Now, I don't want to scare anyone by telling you that I've got that many tasks to do in a day because I know that that's a bit unique. Now, those tasks can be anything from a little reminder for me to post daily to Instagram, or it could be tasks to create a webinar, or what things I need to have ready for a speaking engagement I'm doing next week. All of these tasks are important and they all have a particular priority. So I spend a bit of time organising those tasks and prioritising those tasks. So when I start the beginning of my day, I have this list and I know the priority. But something else happens at the beginning of every day for me. I look at that list and I completely let that list go. Those 30 items that are on my to-do list for that day, I let go the control of needing or having to achieve every single item on that list. And what that does is it allows me to have things show up that I otherwise wouldn't expect. Things move. I might have expected a call at 1 o'clock. That's now being rescheduled. And because I've let the control go, I don't mind that it moves. I don't mind that it reschedules because guaranteed something else had to show up at 1 o'clock that day and it wasn't the call that I thought it was going to be. So I apply the plan and the letting go at the same time. And this is where my personal law of attraction comes in. Because yes, I want to plan and achieve things and have things happen, but at the same time, I also let go of the emotion and the need and the holding on to dear life that thing is actually going to happen. Because I might decide that Monday would be a really good day for that thing to happen, but Thursday might be the better day. Just because I've decided that Monday would be good doesn't always make it true. And this comes back to the law of attraction. We decide we want to do something, or we want something to come into our life, and we decide we want it to happen in 6 months' time. That's the date. We're going to work towards that date. The problem with that is that that date may not be our ideal date for that thing to happen, that thing to appear. And then when it doesn't appear, we apply that experience into everything else that we're wanting. And that's when our personal principles to the law of attraction get a little scrambled. And when that happens, the momentum, the natural momentum that we have to do our to-do lists every day, or work with our team members, or communicate with people, that momentum kind of dies a little, and it just keeps on getting lower and lower, because our experiences that we've had before scrambles our belief that things are happening in the right timing. So this is why this particular topic is really important to me when it comes to creating momentum, because our law of attraction, the way that we've applied those experiences, have an absolute direct effect on whether we can create momentum in our life. So I've already explained that with the law of attraction, we're deciding that we want something and we expect it to happen. We put a deadline on it. The very first thing we have to do is make a decision about what it is we want. And when we make any decision, we actually have our own personal filters that we're working through to make that decision. So the first step in applying the law of attraction is actually making a decision. And I'm going to share with you some of the filters that I have created due to my experience and exposure to numbers and numbers of people and how they function in the world. And what I see are the 4 main areas that we make decisions through. So really, we're looking at, who are you? You know, we all have a core element of who we are and how we function in the world. And these are the 4 categories. The first one is discovery. So people who make decisions through discovery, they're always looking to expand on what they already have. They're always researching. They've got lots of ideas, and it's just, everything just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So there's a discovery filter that we use when we're deciding about what we want. So that is one category. The second category we have is embracing. Now, this type of person generally physically embraces others, but more importantly, they embrace ideas. They embrace others' ideas. They embrace caring for others. But everything they do, they kind of do it wholeheartedly, and they're just willing to include whoever they can, whatever they can, to make that thing happen. So there's those people that are just, they're very enthusiastic, and it's just, it's lovely. I always love the embracing energy, but that's what they're doing. They're wanting to include everything in their ideas. And then we have the essentials filter. So this is where the approach comes with just nutting out what is really essential. It's more getting down into the detail, what's really needed here. And this filter is very good at sensing what's really needed, not all the fluffy stuff, not all the big picture stuff, just the essential, grounded, what's necessary. And so that's the essential filter. And then we have the perceptive filter. So this filter has a really good way of understanding the effect of that decision. So generally speaking, that type of person is very analytical and they run scenarios through their head very quickly, very efficiently, and they kind of know the direction that that particular decision will take them. Now, we all have a capacity to use all of those areas. Just we would tend to default to one or two of them more easily, and we tend to skip through the other ones a little bit fast because we just don't want to worry about them too much, but we want that there will be some that we really favour. So that's the filters that we use to make decisions. But of course, what happens is that we make a decision, our personal principles of the law of attraction kicks in, and we come up with a brick wall. And this is why our law of attraction principles get scrambled, because often brick walls appear out of nowhere. We didn't see them coming, and now we've got to work hard to get through that brick wall. It might be a limiting belief, it might be someone getting in our way, someone not liking the idea that we want to put forward. And what we need to do is use those 4 categories and the energy of those 4 categories to break through this brick wall. So to give you an example, those discovery people, what they will do is they will look at this brick wall that they have in front of them, and they are going to come up with 1,000 ideas, 1,000 ways that they could go over that brick wall, through that brick wall. They might even decide that they can dig underneath the ground and go underneath the brick wall. Whatever it takes, they're going to come up with an idea and they're going to make it happen, because they know what they want to achieve. They've got all these ideas and they're going to apply that energy. So if you've related to the discovery type person, if you're coming across a brick wall in your decision making, use that to get through that brick wall. If you're an embracing person, well, it's easy to break through the brick wall for you. Just surround yourself with more and more people. The more people you talk to, the more people you communicate about your brick wall, the more people will support you to move past it. It's a natural strength that you have. And then there are the essential filter. So this essential energy, they'll just stand back a bit. They will physically just move back a bit and just see what that brick wall is really all about for them. And when they do that, they will find the crack in that brick wall and know just where to chip away so that they will get through that brick wall and get over to the other side. Again, using the strength of really what's needed to get through that brick wall. And then the perceptive energy. Well, they'll also stand back a bit as well. Now have a bit of a look. And they will be able to see that not only could they go over the brick wall or through the brick wall or underneath the brick wall, but they could also go around the side of the brick wall to get to the other side. So every single one of those filters is really helpful when we're making a decision, and it's also very, very helpful when we come across our brick walls, when we're making decisions, or when we've made the decision and we find the brick wall in front of us. Now, I'm introducing this idea here because we often, going back to our law of attraction, we make our decision, we've now gotten through our brick wall, but often to make our idea happen or what we want to appear in our world, we have to collaborate with usually people around us. You know, we might need to ask someone for help, or we might need to get someone to keep us accountable, or there's often a way of collaborating with other people. And that's great. And that's the most common description and way that we use collaboration. But tonight I'm going to introduce another idea around collaboration. Well and good, you know, you have an idea and you want to bring it into the world, and often you look for someone else who has a strength that is opposite to yours so that you can bring it together, and then there's more power in that. Well, remember, this is all about unlocking your power. And so what I want to introduce to you is that there is a collaborative energy within your own self that we can also engage. So in my story around my calendar and having all my to-do lists and then just letting it go in that moment that I start my day, what I find is when I do that really effectively, what it means is that my head and my heart and my gut are actually all collaborating together. And I have complete trust. I can tune into my instinct that, oh no, that call doesn't need to happen right now. And my head doesn't get in the way and go, oh, but it was scheduled in for that time. It really should happen. And I have some heart. I have some understanding and compassion for why that appointment might need to be rescheduled. And there's this lovely alignment between all those three areas. And there's a fourth area that really comes into play when it's to do with the law of attraction. And it's an area within our energy called the future self. Now, we tune into our future self regularly. Anything that we plan ahead, that is our future self. And so when I plan my calendar, I am absolutely tuning into my future self to do that. But what's really important is that my future self has some flexibility. And if I have collaboration between all those four areas, my head, my heart, my gut, and my future self, then I really, truly can let go of any plans that I have and just know that my future self will still be satisfied, I will still get looked after, and that thing that I'm wanting to attract will appear at just the right moment in my future. So that is an idea around collaboration that I really just wanted to share with you. So to wrap this lovely webinar up, I wanted to share this quote: empower yourself with your own knowledge and wisdom. Know that you have your strength that you can draw on to create momentum in your life. As a thank you tonight, I also want to share that as a business, I'm actually a member of well, it's an organisation, but we're going to call it a movement, the B1G1 organisation. It is a platform that allows me as a business owner to give back to small projects around the globe. Now, this is something I've been doing for about the last 8 years, and I'm very grateful and honoured that in that time, I've actually managed to create just over 1.7 million impacts through small projects, through building a well in a village, by providing a goat for a family. In all these small little ways, I've created over 1.7 million impacts. Now, that's impressive, and there comes a challenge with that. The challenge is, what else can I do to create even more impacts? And this is where you come in. Simply because you registered for this webinar, we were able to create some new impacts. So when I looked up what project I might come up with for this webinar, the first thing that jumped off the page on the B1G1 platform was enhancing a life. I thought, well, that's a no-brainer. That's what I want to do with the people that I'm talking to on the webinar. I want to enhance their life. Yeah, that's a good idea. And then the next thing that popped off the page at me was the ability to donate so that vitamin supplements can be given to kids in Kenya to prevent blindness. I was sold. That was it. Because what I want to have done for you tonight through this webinar is to have opened your eyes to some new ideas so that you can see more than you did before we started. So that's what we've been able to do tonight. Thanks for your registration on this webinar. We have been able to create, per registration, 100 doses of vitamin supplements for kids in Kenya to prevent blindness. So thank you so much for being part of it.